and we'll have to specifically use the speech of Gemini LiveAPI for FlutterDev. It's welcome to see.
Thank you very much, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
You should correct me. This one is really afternoon. Come on. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Where's my slide? Where's my slide? It's not my slide. I'll share it. Yes. Hello again. A little hiccup for the technical issues, but that's fine. So let me say hi again. I am Suesi Tran. I'm from GDG Melbourne, but I am Vietnamese. So I'm all over the place. Currently, I'm founder of Natus. Natus is the company behind Memory digital diary app. A little bit about me. I'm a Google developer expert in that Flutter and Firebase. And I'm on a mission to preserve, retrieve, and retrieve human memories. And that is why we at Natus, we created Memory. That is the first step for us to preserve human memories. Later on, we will add on features to retrieve and relive human memory as well. And when we are building this app, that's one of the features people usually say is that it's really hard for them to organize their thought and write it down as diary. So we added AI features so that it will be easier for the users, for you to chat with a close friend. Let's say a close friend, and the friend can understand you, the friend can share the thought with you, and later on AI can summarize all that to make it into a diary. The agenda for today is that I will show you how LiveAPI works, and I'll show you what is Firebase AI logic, because Firebase AI logic is one of the easiest way to integrate Gemini into your Flutter app. And maybe and later on I will show you how to integrate Gemini LiveAPI into your Flutter app. So first thing first, I show you a demo of LiveAPI. If you can go to aistudio.com and you go to the live, aistudio.google.com/labs/live, and you will see this UI here, talk to Gemini Live. Here, you can either type or you can talk, but let's try talking today, okay? Hello there. Hello. How can I help you today? Can you please say hello to everyone here? Hello, everyone. Okay. So that is the idea how it actually works. That you can actually talk to AI, and then it will go past all the steps that you have to convert the speech to text, and then convert the text to speech back to make the audio. This live Gemini API, you can directly send the audio to the AI, and AI will directly send the audio back for you to play back. So that is the idea of live API. It will create the natural live conversation between AI and human. Now, With this session, I'm going to assume that you already know what is Flutter, you already know Flutter SDK and Firebase console, because this is what we will use today. So I'm not going to talk through any of this, but I will just walk you through as if you already know it. If you do not know, try to search on Google later. In order to integrate Firebase, in order to integrate Gemini into a Flutter app, the easiest way is to use Firebase logic. So Firebase logic is a simple and easy way to connect to Gemini, and you can access it inside the console.firebase.google.com. If you go to console.firebase.google.com, you will need to create your Firebase project. And once you are ready in your Firebase project, open the navigator bar on the left side and look for the AI category. In there, you click on the AI logic. There will be two API inside here. One is Vertex AI and one is GoogleAI. So in the screen right now is the Vertex AI. If you click on Vertex AI and you click on Get Started with this API, you enable the Vertex AI API for your Firebase project. But if you choose the Google Developer API, that one is the Google AI. And if you get started with this API, you will use the Google Developer API. That is the Google AI. Okay. The difference between Google AI and Vertex AI is that Google Developer API is a straightforward and no-cost solution for AI solution. So for students, for early startup, for people who just want to try out the features, you can try. You can start with Google Developer API. However, if you have your requirement is more than just normal AI. You do not want to use just specific knowledge of the AI itself, and you want to expand with the function of the AI. You want to build your own AI, for example. Then you can use the Vertex AI Vertex AI API. That Vertex AI API is not free. So if you want to use Vertex AI, make sure you have money to pay. Now, Firebase AI has a package ready for Flutter developer. The package name is Firebase_AI. So if you go to FlutterDev, you search for Firebase AI, you will find this package immediately. And this package right now is at version 3.4.0, and it provides a really very convenient way, and it provides you access to all the three types of models: generative model, imaging model, and also large generative model. Here are the three types of model, and here are the API reference. If you open API reference, you will see this screen. Within today, I'm going to talk about the large generative model only. And here is the very simple flow for the large generative model. Is so high. Okay. So and for large generative model, in your code, you will need to initialize the model. You choose the model you want to use, and then you connect the section so that the large generative model will create its own section for you to use it in your app, and then you send the content stream and handle the response. That's it. Simple. So the first step is to initialize the live model. So you can initialize the live model very easily by just calling the Firebase AI. Okay, there's a little trick over here is that when you call the static function Firebase AI, whether Vertex AI or Google AI, it depends on the API that you enable in the Firebase console. So in the Firebase console, if you enable the Vertex AI over here, you need to use Vertex AI. If you enable the Google AI in Firebase console, over here you will need to call the Google AI. And the model is just a string of the model name. All the source code can be found in that QR code. So if you scan that QR code, you get the latest update on my demo that I will show you the demo app later. Now, when you initialize the large generative model, you will get a model as a string. And it's not just any string, it's the exact name of the model. And where you can find the model names. There are two links for you. One is from the Firebase.google.com, the AI logic itself. If you go to this AI logic website and you look through all the model names over here, you will get the information on model path, model input, model output, and other information as well. And one thing is that if you visit this website, you will get for sure that it will work with AI logic. So any model in there will work with AI logic. If you need more models, you can visit this website as well. This is a generic link for Gemini API, with all the model for Gemini API. However, it does not promise that it will work well with Firebase AI logic. So you will have to try and error if you need to. During my try and search and fail a lot, I find out that the model with this name over here, Gemini 2.5 Flash Live, is the one with the best native voice. Of course, this one is very good for English speaking. I only know English and Vietnamese, so Vietnamese is not so good. I'm not sure about Cantonese or any other language, so maybe you can try and verify it later. When you initialize the live model, you can send in an instruction. This instruction is a guideline for the model to act and behave during the session that is going to create. This instruction is just a content, text content, and usually you can use content of system, but otherwise you can use content of text as well. Most of the time I use content of system and just send the text in as the instruction. With live generation config, this is where you configure the response from the AI model. Live generation config, you will get the config like speech config, what speech you want, what voice you want, response modality, how you want it to respond to you, and etc. So let's look into the first response modality. Response modality, there are three types of response modality available: text, image, and audio. However, whatever model that you choose, the model name that you choose, you need to check the document for that model, whether it will support the output, what output it will support. Some of the model will support text and audio, some model will support only text, and some model only support images. So you will need to make sure that the model you choose has the supported response modality that you want. And then you set the response modality to that model to that modality that is supported by your model. For speech config, this configuration is only for audio response. So if you choose your response modality as audio response, you can choose the speech, the voice, what voice you want it to be. So if you scan this QR code over here, you can see a list of voices. You can also try to check inside AI Studio right here with a list of voice over here. You can only set it up before you start a streaming session. When you choose the speech config, you will need to refresh the session in order for it to take effect. But since you are now in the initialize and assume that you don't have any session before that, this will take effect immediately. Now, if you do not train your own AI model and you still want to extend the knowledge of the chatbot outside of whatever is trained before the cutoff date, tools is the thing that you can use. Tool has 4 tools to give you more power and knowledge and context to the AI. Those are function call, code execution, crowding with Google Search, and public URL context. With Google Search, the name says it all. So with Google Search, you are allowing your AI to connect to Google to perform a search on any query that the user gives. And when you use it, it's straightforward to the Google Search. That's it. And you don't need to give any other information. However, when you build your app with Google Search, please make sure that your app, your application is compliant with grounding with Google Search API. So you can scan the QR code right here to learn more about grounding with Google Search. URL context, the idea is that it will provide additional context based on the public URL. So you can just enable the URL tools of URL context over here, and during your message when you send to AI, you include the public URL context in the message. Then AI, the Gemini will refer to that context first to find the answer first before it search somewhere else. For code execution, in my app, the memory app, we do not need this code execution, so I look very brief through it. So it can generate and execute Python code. I don't even code in Python. So sorry, I can't explain more on that, but there's a QR code if you want to learn more about Python code. If you want to write a chatbot for developers, you can try that. And finally, function declaration. This function declaration is a tool that I use very often in all my AI application. This function declaration allows you to manipulate the response or give the context to the AI based on the input from the users and based on your own database or anything. So the example over here is the weather query. Okay, because all the AI has a cutoff date. And the cutoff date is always in the past. The AI will not know anything that is happening currently. So for example, if you ask the AI, how's the weather today in Hong Kong? The AI cannot give you the answer because it does not know what today is. And it does not know how's the weather like. But if you give a function with function name weather query, and then you give a description saying that it can query the condition, the weather condition for the current location, and you give the input flat and long, then when the user asks that question, how's the weather in Hong Kong today, it will invoke that function, and then you can process that function and you provide the response. And AI will generate the response to the user based on your information. So this tool is actually very powerful if you do not know the way how to train your own AI, all that fancy things, then use this. Now, second step, connect the section. Simple, one line, dot connect, that's it. Step 3, you send content. Okay, there are 3 types of content that you can send, but once again, these 3 types of content really depends on the input of the model that you choose. Let's say you choose the model that accept only text and audio. If you send the video, there will be no response. So when you implement the type of input to the Gemini, make sure you check correctly what is the input available for the model that you choose. And all this is just code, very simple line of code. If you want to send text content, you send it through the send text real time. If you want to send an audio content, send it through the send audio real time. It will take in an inline data platform with MyTab and Byte data byte. And please be sure that the MyTab and the Byte are matching the format. So for example, if your MyTab is PCM, audio PCM, your audio byte need to be in PCM as well. Otherwise, the parsing will fail.
Sorry, I want to ask for those videos, will you respond or you just pass the transactions?
Pardon?
For that contact, will we store in the database or store anything, or you just send them?
No. This one, I'm only talking about how we integrate and how we send data to the Firebase. I'm not talking about the system design for any app at all. So the system design is up to you how you want to design it. The third content is the video, and it's similar to audio. You can send just the inline data part with my tag and byte. Same as audio, make sure that the format of the my tag is matching the format in your data file. Okay, the most important part when you communicate with Gemini is to handle the live server response. Okay, so after you create the session, you have a session, you start receiving data, and you will start to listen to the response from session immediately. Okay, this response, even though in the flow, it will be after the session connect, but the session connect will complete after the first response. Tricky? Okay, I show you how it means, what it means. Okay, there are different live server messages inside a live server response. There are live server setup complete, live server content, live server to call, and live server to call cancellation. You will need to handle each of these messages differently. So the first message that you will need to receive, you will need to wait for, is live server setup complete. This message is sent back to indicate that the live session has been established. And the tricky part is that you will still need to handle it together with other live server response. And any message that you send to Gemini before you receive this message is not handled. It's not sent out at all. It will be enough. That is why you will need to wait for this message before you send out any subscription, any contact message at all. Another tricky part is that live servers that are complete is not exposed in Firebase API, in Firebase AI. So you can see the code over here. It's totally unrelated, but that is how I actually handle this message. When it's not exposed, I cannot check the message tag. So I just add value notifier just to notify me when it's ready. Now, the second message is live server to call. Okay, in the tools just now, during the initial config of the live generative model, you added the function declaration. Remember that function declaration, when it is invoked, when it needs to be invoked, the AI will send back a message called live server to call. And in this live server to call, it will send a list of functions that is from the function declaration, and you will need to handle this function by yourself. And you will need to generate the function response for each of the functions. One tricky part over here is the ID. Okay, the ID in the API says is optional, but if you don't include the ID in the response, that response will be disregarded, and that function call will trigger a cancel later because it does not recognize just by the function name. So remember, if you use the live server to call, and if you use function call, always send back the response with the caller name and also the caller ID. Live server to call cancellation. This is to tell you that the server stopped waiting for the response for any function call. So if you need to handle it, you can handle, otherwise you can ignore it. And the main message that you will need to handle is the live server content. This live server content, it will give the actual response, the actual output that you can give back to the users. It depends on the response modality that you choose when you initialize the model. So whether you choose output to be typed, then it will respond in types. If you choose output to be audio, it will respond in audio. The tricky part here is that, number one, you will need to check the model turn. If the model turn is already available, meaning that the model has sent the response, then you will need to check the part inside the model. It does not differentiate between text content or data content. It's differentiate within the part inside the same content. So if the part is bytes, you show the bytes. If the part is data, you check the my part and then you show the output accordingly. The source code is available right here. So you can scan the QR code, you can take picture. I will share the slide to the organizer as well, so the organizer can share the slide with you later. Now, let's walk through some of the limitation of the current API. Number one is session lifetime. Session lifetime with the session with audio only is only 15 minutes. With the session is audio and video is 2 minutes. But the connection lifetime is only 10 minutes, which means that whatever session you do, the maximum time you can have is 10 minutes. If it's audio and video session, get only 2 minutes. And if you use context window compression, maybe you'll get longer session time lifetime, but it's not yet available in Firebase AI, so we can't use it yet. Another feature is that the session resume is also not available. So if you check my source code in the QR code that I share, you will see that I use a very idiot tricky way to resume the session, not really resume, but restart the session. And by doing that, the AI will forget everything that it taught to us before that. So that is not a really good way. Now, the video streaming. If you choose the AI model that has video streaming feature, it will limit to the video to support only 1 frame per second. So if you send 24 frames per second, good luck, you will not receive any response. And the video streaming will need to include both audio and video. So if you try to send audio separately and images separately, there will be no response as well. And once again, you need to check the model if your model support that audio, the video input or not. Now, we talk about the session lifetime. And the session lifetime, before the session ends, the server will send a message called go away message. And this message will include that the time left, meaning that how much time you've left for that session. Unfortunately, in Firebase AI for Flutter project, this message is not handled, so it will return an exception. I already raised an issue in the Flutterfire repo, and they already implement this. So hopefully in the next release, you will have this feature. Otherwise, if you receive any exception, you know maybe it's a go away message. And if you are familiar with generative model and also chat session in the generative model, you know that you can send the whole chat history back to the AI so that the AI can continue with the chat session. In live generative model, it's not implemented, and everything will be inside just one session. So I still haven't thought of a workaround for this yet. So maybe when I get fired, I'll share later. And the latency for the first message is around 3 seconds. It depends on the model. Some model will have lower latency, some model will have higher latency, and it also depends on the API. If you use Vertex AI, the latency is lower. If you use GoogleAI, the latency is higher. And the latency will keep increasing after the first message. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how it actually works. So the source code is right here, and here is my app. Okay, so the app over here, I choose the model as Gemini 2.0 Flash Live. This one is the older model. The newest version is 2.5. Let's try to start the session now. While waiting for it, okay, it's ready now.
Hi there. How can I help you today?
Hello, I'm trying to show a demo of LiveAPI of Flutter app. Can you say hello to everybody?
Okay, I can do that. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoy the Flutter app demo.
Okay, that is a very short demo, but in short, you can send audio and then you can receive audio back, and that is very much nature like human like conversation. Now, if you have any questions, I can receive only 2 questions. Time is up, but for that 2 questions, you will receive this beautiful pin from GDG Melbourne. Any question?
So in the latency issue that you talk about, does that gonna affect the user experience in your product?
Yes, it does. So just imagine that you have a latency at 3 seconds for the first message. After the user finish talking and pause, it will take 3 seconds for the response to come. And then if you use GoogleAI API, the latency will be higher, meaning that the delay will be much higher. After that, it will surely affect the user experience.
In your experience, if the user send audio first and then send image later, does that increase the latency?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I guess
Any other question? Okay, if no questions, I'm going to take this pin back home. I'm happy with that. And if you want to see how AI is working in the real Flutter app, you can try to download our app at memo.me.app. This app, we use AI to help the users to write diary, to explain their daily life and emotions. And with this app, we are going to have live API in it soon as well. So we will announce it on our website. Thank you.
Thank you for the very informative speech. And we would like to have for our gratitude, we will have some souvenir and also items and content.
Sure.